Now, from the studios of Into Tomorrow in Miami, this is ITTV.
Our next IFA guest company is bringing vacation home. That got our attention, certainly. They're creating smart devices intended for homeowners who want to reduce their workload, and take back their free time. The general manager of a company called Aiper is Andres Gomez. Andres, welcome back Into Tomorrow. How are you?
Hi, Dave. Thanks for having me again. All good.
It's a pleasure to have you. You guys, we had you on at our IFA coverage last year in Berlin, and found it fascinating what you guys are doing. But now you've taken it, I think, several steps further by bringing vacation home. So first of all, tell our audience a little bit about the company Aiper, and then we'll get into the specifics and what you announced this year.
Of course. So at Aiper, we are specialized in robotics, especially in pool robotic cleaning. So we are the #1 brand in cordless robotic pool cleaning solutions at the moment. We've been working on this for the past 5-6 years, and today at IFA, just this year at IFA, we are bringing our latest series of products that will complement the solutions that we already had.
Wow, awesome. I mean, it makes me wish I had a pool. I live on a lake. I don't think we could use it in the lake, though. I would probably mess it up.
Also, this new product you will like. It's something that you could put in a lake.
Really? Whoa,
Yeah.
So I could have a robotic lake cleaner, at least in my backyard area.
Yeah, of a kind, yeah.
My neighbors would be jealous. Wow, we should talk about that. So I know you guys aim to create a smart yard. What does a smart yard ecosystem look like? What's your goal there?
Yeah, so our end goal is that we can take care of all the maintenance, let's say, chores of the backyard and the front yard, of course. But it's just everything that is related to the garden, the lawn, the pool. So everything that you have to do in the outdoors in your backyard is something that we want to be able to do with robots and smart solutions.
Ooh, that kind of makes me think I'm smelling a Aiper Smart Grill Master one day.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And Chris in the control room loves to grill, and I'm sure he'd say, if I had a robot to do it, I'd love it even more. So there's something to work on. That'll cover the backyard for sure.
Right.
Well, that's kind of a cool concept. As a company to be working on, to be able to say, we got you covered. You know, we'll take care of the yard. Anything you do outdoors, maybe even a robotic mosquito killer, or I don't know. I mean, there's so many other things that hopefully you guys can think of. I know you mentioned that you're the #1 pool cleaning, robotic pool cleaning company. You do have some advantages over big names, I think, in pool cleaning.
Yeah, of course. So to start, cordless, right? So we are the #1 in cordless technology. So we totally redesigned the robots to work with batteries, and that created a whole new segment in the market, in which we talk more about the efficiency of the robot underwater, what the batteries can last underwater. So there's a lot of different elements that come into play here, but we managed to build and let's say, develop robots that are built thinking of these battery-powered robotics underwater.
It's interesting because I always hear my audience in my head, you know, so it's like to ask another question or to think in terms of something the guest said. And what's interesting is that, we hear the last many years, oh my gosh, robots are taking over. But everything that you guys are doing with robotic devices are taking over in such a good way, it's giving us our time back. You know, they're not taking over the house. They're not, scaring anybody. They're doing a great job to help us save time.
Yeah. So there is a very good point here, which is just what you are mentioning. One of our main mission is to use the power of robotics to bring time back or to give time back to the users. So we're trying to free up time. Unless you are a person that enjoy cleaning your pool and you find this like your moment, but for most of us that we see those things as a chore, We try to bring robotic solutions kind of to take care of that part and to just to give us time back that we can use in things that we really enjoy.
Yeah, even better understanding your slogan of bring vacation home, because it
Yeah,
makes us think of it, yeah, wouldn't that be nice? You know, just to sit out on the back patio and enjoy the lake and the pool and the, you know, and your garden,
yeah,
but let the work be done by a robotic device.
that's right. Yeah,
Absolutely. I love it.
that's right.
Now, I know the Seagull Pro was a big hit, yes?
Yeah, so we became the basically the number one in that category, which is the wall cleaning, the cordless robotics that can not just clean the floor but also the wall and the water line of the pool. It was a huge success now in 2023 for this summer season. We still some places, especially down in Florida, there is still a little bit hot, so we're still getting more and more users there.
I'll
But
bet.
as of now, yeah, as of now, we kind of became the top one seller in that category, in that segment.
Wow. What about commercial pools? For example, I'm the president of our homeowners association. It's a really big community. We've got 2 pools. Well, do they work well with commercial pools, or are they pretty much designed only
No,
for an
we
individual?
yeah, so we are more concentrated in residential pools as like an individual pool. Of course, there is the case, for example, in Europe, where a lot of the pools inside the associations or the condos are not that big. So we've seen our road being used there, but yeah, if the pool is too big, there's gonna be the need for a commercial pool robot. But what we concentrate more is in the needs of residential or individual users.
Good. And of course, that makes sense. So we talked about the popularity of the Seagull Pro, but at IFA in Berlin this year, you introduced
Yeah,
a brand new Aiper device. Tell us about that
that's right.
now.
Yeah, so this is the first attempt that we do at a skimmer, right? So it's a robotic skimmer. And coming from from what we've been doing is a cordless robot. The robot does is just taking care of that part where we were not cleaning before, which was the surface of the pool, right? So in nowadays you have only to be armed with a pole and a net to be cleaning the surface of your pool maybe for something between 45 to 2 hours a day so that you can have a clean pool on the surface. With this robot, we make sure that we can clean 100% of the pool, meaning that with our Seagull Pro cleaning the floor, the wall, and the water line, the Surfer S1, which is the robot that we just launched in IFA, is going to be cleaning the surface of the pool.
And I like how you talked about when you can basically only arm yourself with a pole and a net. That's really all you're doing. And of course,
Yeah,
I used to have a pool in the former marital home, and
yeah,
and it was a pain because you'd start to scrape the top, getting leaves and dust and whatnot out, and then of course it just floats right back to the area you just cleaned. Now you got to do that again. So
that's right.
apparently, the new Aiper device takes care of that. You just let it do its job.
That's right. So especially if you live in a place where have like maybe a lot of trees around
Oh
or you have
yeah.
a lot of insects, if your pool is not covered, so there's a lot of factors here that in which probably in the middle of the summer you will have to do this every single day if you want to use the pool every day.
Wow. And of course, the Bring Vacation Home slogan took you guys at Aiper all over the world, and especially at IFA in Berlin. So what's next for you guys? How does your mission evolve?
So again, we are going to start to build into this, let's say, this new technology that we are developing. To give you an example here, the Surfer S1 is 80% covered in solar panels. So
Oh,
it's almost a self-sustained device. So we want to move much more in that way. We want to keep developing in the cleaning area, which means that we're going to try to clean 100% of the pool to get the robots to work together, maybe to build a device that can do everything and all in one. And all of that goes with the technology that is going to build up in the technology that we're bringing up today. For example, the S1 again, it has already, it's our first robot with an application. So it's connected. You can control the robot like it's a little boat or a catamaran in your pool. So that gives it a lot of this, let's say, empowerment to the user, so that we can do much better, a much better job cleaning the pool with our robots.
Are there any plans, Andres, for devices for inside the house, or are you leaving that up to all of those robotic vacuum people?
Yeah, we give it, we let that to the robotic vacuum people. We believe that we are, let's say, the Roomba of the outdoors.
There you go.
Yeah, so that's where we want to stay. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for spending a few minutes with us again, and we invite our audience to visit your site. Of course, those listening on the radio or podcast or our stream know that we have video of this interview and showing you all the cool devices that Andres is talking about. So be sure to visit us at intotomorrow.com. While you're online, check out their site at Aiper, AIPER.com. I don't recall if I asked you last year in Berlin, does Aiper mean something? Is it a particular name or just something you guys came up with?
Yeah, it actually does. It came from the combination of AI and PR, which we call it like a personalization.
Oh.
So it's like we are not an AR company, but a robotic company. We use a lot of machine learning for the robots to do what they have to do. So that's where the name came from.
Love it. Andres Gomez, General Manager for Aiper. Thanks so much for joining us. Keep in touch, of course, as you come out with more cool things, especially that robotic grill master. We'll get you back on and talk about any new products you have.
That's great. Thank you, Dave.
It's our pleasure. Thanks for joining us. Andres is General Manager of Aiper, again, AIPER, and visit us at intotomorrow.com. We'll link you to his site like we do with all of our guests. Be sure and come by and see the video. You're going to get a big kick out of their devices and how well they work in the pool. So you want to check that out. I'm Dave Graveline. Stay tuned. Much more to come, including from IFA in Berlin, right here on the Advanced Media Network.